Hi, I'm Craig from UK Comic Cons and welcome to our brand spanking new channel where we're going to be looking at all things comic. We're going to have a series every Monday which is going to be called Comic Stop, and we're going to be looking at the week's comics that are going to be coming out. We're also going to be starting up our Showcase Saturday, which is going to be looking at independent comic writers, artists, creators, anything like that. If you're interested in having your work showcased on the channel and you'd like us to review or preview any Kickstarter, YouTube, anything like that you've got coming out, then please get in touch. I'm on Twitter and I've also got email, and that's all in the description below. So please get in touch if you'd like us to do that for you. So we're also going to be reviewing, previewing and looking at all things Comic-Cons when they start up again. Unfortunately, we don't know when that's going to be. But in the meantime, hit that subscribe button and get hit in the earballs with all things comic. And now we've got that boring stuff out of the way, now for the new comics coming out on Wednesday the 3rd of March. So we'll start off with King Tank Girl number 5, and that's by Albatross Funny Books. The final, ultimate, devastating issue of King Tank Girl, filled with needless slaughter, evil butchery, charred corpses, dantesque chaos and carnage, fountains of spewing guts, and a lovely short story for very young children. King Tank Girl delivers everything you ever wished for. Sounds lovely. That's the final issue, so check that one out. We've also got American Mythology Productions, and they've brought out Beware the Witch's Shadow, and that's for the Soul to Keep series, number 1. Deep in the darkest snowy woods, there's a cabin where monsters dwell and wait for the unlucky to visit. The wisecracking witch is back with new tales of terror and snarky horror. Now for one I'm really looking forward to, Berserker Number One from Boom Studios. Keanu Reeves' comic book writing debut alongside New York Times best-selling co-writer Matt Kindt. A brutally violent new series about one immortal warrior's fight through the ages. The man only known as Berserker, as half mortal and half god, cursed and compelled to violence, even at the sacrifice of his sanity. That's coming out Wednesday. Can't wait for that one. I've got that pre-ordered. Dark Horse Comics, Dead Dog's Bite number 1. Cormac Guffin, great name, has gone missing. It's been 3 days and no one has seen hide nor hair of her. The police have nothing, and the townsfolk are acting more like a funeral procession than a search party. If Cormac has any hope of being found, it rests on the slouching shoulders of her best friend Jo. Jo will need her wits about her though, because like any story worth hearing, nothing is what it seems. So DC Comics have got quite a few new story arcs coming out this week. We've got Crime Syndicate number 1, spinning out of Dark Knight's death metal, the multiverse is reborn, and Earth 3 with it. In the 6-issue miniseries, witness the true origins of the malevolent makers of mayhem known as the Crime Syndicate. And we've got Infinite Frontier number 0. It's time to look into the infinite frontier of the current day DC universe. In Gotham City, the Joker jolts citizens awake. Some of these are real tongue twisters. The Joker jolts citizens awake with an attack even the Dark Knight never expected. In Brazil, a young woman discovers her destiny and her connection to the Amazons. In Belle Reve, Amanda Waller plots an invasion of Arkham Asylum, and in the far reaches of space, Mongol dreams of galactic domination, while the Green Lantern Corps hosts a summit of its greatest enemies. At the Hall of Justice, the League joins forces with Black Adam, and beyond the mortal world, Wonder Woman settles into a new role in the Godsphere. And that leads on to Sensational Wonder Woman number 1. Celebrating Wonder Woman's 80th anniversary, Sensational Wonder Woman will explore everything that makes Wonder Woman the sensational hero she is. Suicide Squad number 1. Things have changed for Task Force X as Peacemaker takes over as field leader. There will be no more avenging or defending of the government's secret task force. Amanda Waller is now back in control and sends the new squad into Arkham Asylum to recruit the deadly Court of Owl's assassin Talon, while she interviews another new candidate, Superboy. Swamp Thing number 1. Unable to control his transformation into the monstrous Swamp Thing, Levi is thrust into the harsh, unforgiving mystery of grisly murders committed by a supernatural desert legend. Levi must revisit past events in his homeland of India and face the deadly reality of a ravenous new villain in order to comprehend what he truly and horrifyingly is becoming. A new era of global action and horror blossoms here, and Swamp Thing will be at the root of it. Marvel Comics are bringing out American Chavez Made in the USA number 1. America Chavez is incredible. Her origins, her strength, her dimension-shattering star portals. But when the foundation of everything she believes in is shaken, America will stand up and face the parts of herself she's been running from. And another one I'm really looking forward to is Demon Days X-Men #1. From Peach Momoko comes a Marvel story unlike any you've ever seen before. A wandering swordsman with a psychic blade arrives at a village that's been targeted by demons. One demon is black and white with a terrifying red tongue, and another may be the strongest demon there is. In the stunning kick-off issue of this prestige quarterly story, you'll see a revolutionary reimagining of the Marvel Universe that could only come from Peach Momoko. Ready your katana and enter a mysterious world of demons, monsters, mutants, and magic. Captain America #1 as part of the King in Black series. Captain America is in a brutal battle to win the streets of Manhattan back from Null's forces. Aided by the Winter Soldier and the Falcon, but there's a darkness inside Steve that he's struggling to shake. Can his closest friends help him though, or will he succumb to the shadows? King in Black Handbook #1 as the Dark King Null descends on the Marvel Universe. The official handbook turns its focus to all things symbiote with this new collection of profiles. This issue covers not only symbiote hosts such as Venom, Carnage and Lee Price, but also characters whom symbiotes have affected. And also in the King in Black is Wiccan and Hulkling #1. Wiccan and Hulkling are freshly off the marriage altar and overdue for a proper celebration. So when the Shi'ar invite them for an all-expenses paid vacation at their glitziest beach resort, you know Wiccan's already got their bags packed. But they'll have to hold off the champagne because Null and his symbiote army are expanding across the galaxy. From Dynamite Entertainment, we've got James Bond, Agent of Spectre #1. A fresh take on the world's greatest secret agent. When a priceless piece of art is found to be fake, investigations lead down a rabbit hole of international crime and corruption. But what the hell does James Bond know about the world of art forgery? From Heavy Metal magazine, we've got Starwood #1. Starting college at the end of the summer is stressful enough for Stephanie Cohen, since she's given up her love of classics to please her parents in pre-med, but classic crashes into her life when she realises she's the reincarnation of a stellar warrior tasked with guarding the cosmic door to chaos. Is Stephanie strong enough to follow her heart, accept her secret history, and look Starwood in time to save humanity when she realises chaos has already won? IDW Publishing has got Transformers 84 Legends and Rumours, which is a 100-page giant, and that's #1. Transformers 84 is the perfect companion book to the Secrets and Lies miniseries, representing the classic stories that inspired the series, the Transformers. Scott Snyder brings out Nocterra #1 for Image Comics. Full Throttle Dark Part 1. 10 years after the world is plunged into an everlasting night that turns all living creatures into monstrous shades. The only way to survive is to stay close to artificial light. Enter Valentina Val Riggs, a skilled ferryman who transports people and goods along deadly unlit roads with her heavily illuminated 18-wheeler. This March, legendary creator Scott Snyder and Tony S. Daniel unveil horrors beyond any shade in this extra-sized first issue. Mad Cave Studios has got a reimagining of the Sheriff of Nottingham with Nottingham #1. In this twisted medieval noir, the Sheriff of Nottingham hunts a serial killer with a penchant for tax collectors. The Sheriff's investigation makes him the target of England's most nefarious power brokers. That's to say nothing of the merry men terrorising, lurking amongst the trees of Sherwood, led by an enigma known only as Hood. Oni Press are bringing out Jonna and the Impossible Monsters #1, brand new. Original series written and drawn by Eisner winner Chris Sammy, filled with action, adventure and monsters. Rainbow has been searching for her sister Jonna for a year. The last time she saw Jonna was also the first time she saw one of the monsters that now roam the planet. They're big, ugly and dangerous creatures, driving humanity to the brink of extinction. Though there isn't much hope for survival out in the wild, Rainbow knows that her sister is out there somewhere and she'll do anything to find her. And we've also got a new Rick and Morty series, which is Rick and Morty presents Jerry Brewery #1. It's a field trip. The multitude of Jerrys at the Jerry Brewery Daycare Centre take a trip to the most out-of-this-world arcade in all the multiverse. Blips and shits. The most hapless men in any dimension, face to face with the bleeding edge of arcade technology. What could go wrong? Everything, bruh, everything. Tart Soul Searchers number 1. Tartacid is back for more. The time-travelling demon hunting series continues with the Kingdom of Hell increasing the frequency of their attacks. Throughout human history, ritual sacrifice war-torn villages, the lost colony of Roanoke, Tart Soul Searchers spans the globe and human history as Tartacid and the Toxic Fruit Organization try to contain the rising number of demonic attacks sent by the Kingdom of Hell. And finally, Titan Comics are bringing out Blade Runner Origins number 1. Enter the world of Blade Runner 2009 and discover the untold origins of the Blade Runners. A Tyrell Corporation scientist is dead, the victim of an apparent suicide, but when LAPD Detective Cal is called to investigate, he uncovers secret documents revealing a new kind of replicant and conspiracy that could change the world. And one for the kids, Minions Sports number 1, ahead of their next cinematic outing, Minions The Rise of Gru, on June 17th, 2021. The Minions are back to causing mischief, this time taking on their toughest challenge yet, sport. So that's it for this week's comics. Thank you ever so much for tuning in, and I hope you found this list helpful. If you like this video, then please consider subscribing, and I'll see you next week for more comic previews.